what are we portrayed as? How are we looked at? The music industry, the film industry.
I don't know, we evolve so much though. Like we evolve so much as people. It's just like we're not one people. You know what I mean? Like y'all black.
We're not a monolith, right?
Yeah, so it's like we change so much. We can be portrayed as a sexy red, or we can be portrayed as a record house shopping. We can be portrayed as a Frank Lucas. We can be portrayed so many different things. It's just
but as a majority as it stands right now, what is it? Like when you turn on the TV and you see a black TV show, or you listen to some music, you listen to some black mainstream music.
Yeah.
Like what is the majority of individuals looking at? Because that's the thing. You have the minority, and I agree. I agree with you. But when we're talking about the majority, when people look at us, what do they see?
They see all types of stuff.
You're not being genuine.
I'm saying, no, I'm being genuine. They see shit that we don't even see. That's why they make money off of it.
But here's the thing.
You hear me?
But they make money off of exploiting our ignorance. If we being real, right? Like we talk about the music, what is the more popularized music?
Trap music.
Everything detrimental to us.
You can say that.
I mean, but am I lying? Am I making it up?
I just think about it's just where the individual decided to put their eye gates. That's how I think about it. Like if you see this shit all the time, that's because you consume it. But it's a lot of stuff that consume that, like Maya Angelou. It's like hella shit that you can consume outside of this trap shit.
But here's my question. They call social media individuals who gain a following, who have people following them, what do they call them? Influencers, right? So now, what is the biggest influence of today's world?
You can answer. What's the biggest?
So we're looking at the internet, we're looking at television, and we're looking at music. These are the biggest influences, right? And you gain the influence through whoever got the money to back it. Who can I put out there in the forefront?
Yeah.
I'll give you an example. 20 years ago, would nobody be caught there playing no damn sexy red music. Are you sick? But somehow, some way, she made it to the top. How? Talking about being a hoe, talking about being promiscuous, shameless, teaching women to just be out there in the streets. How?
She made it because she was chosen.
But
Like, she could have been anything.
But here's my question.
They chose that.
But who's they?
All types of people, brands, businesses.
Well, here's the thing. The hood is full of followers, though.
Exactly.
So the truth of the matter is, you have the people with the money, and there's been a number of what you call conscious rappers and rappers that got to a point, but they stopped because they learned from management, they learned from these record labels, they learned from these higher ups, these bigwigs. They say, "Look, I like your music, but you got to put a little more bang bang shoot 'em up in it. I like your music, but you got to talk a little more drug dealing. I like your music, but you got to talk a little more killing." So the fact of the matter is, black entertainment, if you want to be successful in this industry, hey, you can't be dressing all down like that. You gotta show some skin. You gotta show us some cheeks. You gotta show us some breasts. You gotta be a little more promiscuous. So while I agree with you, the things that get pushed in front of our faces, what you said was, that's what you choose to see. No, that's what gets placed in front of us by the people with the money. The people with the money are saying, how can we continue to keep black people asleep? And that's the truth. Like you said, we got the Maya Angelou's. We got the Marcus Garveys we can watch. But that's
Toby in big way.
Right. I'm a big fan of his music. But the thing is this. Even with the money that he has and he's pushing his music, he doesn't have the same fan base as a Big Glow. He don't have the same fan base as a Sexy Red. And go ahead.
We are all called to something at a certain time.
Absolutely.
Everything is in its time. And at some point, stuff on it is going to change to something else. You feel what I'm saying? So at first it was this kind of gospel music, then they incorporate jazz, and then that became simple. Then hip hop, they make that a gospel band. You feel what I'm saying? So I feel like God is in charge of it all. Like in the beginning,
absolutely.
You feel me? In the beginning, we were all here supposed to live forever. He said, wait a minute, let's hold up, let's bring a flood, now life changed. Oh, Moses come, oh, let's bring the law. I feel like at every point God decided to say, all right, this is what I want to happen, now I'm going to change it. Like when Moses was on the mountain, the first thing he said was, you feel what I'm saying? When Moses was on the mountain, the first thing he said was, I can go destroy them and make a nation unto you.
Mm-hmm.
God is different. He was going to say one man and make a whole nation to one man on the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think God thinks the way that we think about all these little introspections of life. Like, you have your calling and what you're called to, and I think God is going to use that for your life, and he's going to open it up for your family and everything like that throughout time. And that's going to change at some point. And the ability to accept the change is where God is going to take us at. Like, for instance, when he said, Saul, go in there and kill everything, the children, everything, he decided to disobey and offer it as a sacrifice,
right.
And God didn't receive it. But then we would say, is God evil? Is God? No, in that time, that's what made sense to be obedient to God. But today, that doesn't make sense to be obedient to God.
So now here's my question. No, absolutely. So to your point, watch this. I want to show you something. I'm sorry, not Isaiah. Go to Deuteronomy 30. Because what a lot of people fail to realize is, like you were saying, this was in God's plan. Yes, it was, but at the same time, he gave us the ability to make that decision. And so we are in the position that we're in because of the decisions that we decided to make, right? Deuteronomy 30 and I think verse 19.
You had to find that verse.
Right here, verse 19. Read that.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 30 and verse 19. I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore choose life, that both thou and thy seed may live.
So he told us, I got the answer for you. I'm telling you what to choose, but you got life and death in front of you. Make the decision. Go to Deuteronomy 28. Because what a lot of people fail to realize, when we end up in a lot of these situations, like, where was God when this happened? Or, oh, this was God's will that happened. No, that was your fault. And a lot of times we don't like to take accountability, as you can see all throughout the social media world. Social media tell on a lot of people. We don't like to take accountability for a lot of things. Deuteronomy 30 literally just said, God told us, I got this for you and I got this for you. I'll tell you this is the answer here, but go ahead and pick. And we said, yeah, no, I'm going to take this one instead. And it's like, all right, you sure? You positive? And we said, no, yeah, we sure, we positive. And then we ended up in the predicaments that we were in based off of our choices. Watch this, Deuteronomy 28:1, and then drop down to 15.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and do all his commandments which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
So the Lord said, look, if you obey me and keep my commandments, which a lot of people today are like, oh, I have my own personal relationship with God. The fact of the matter is, do you have any kids?
I got two.
You got two. Okay. So out of love and out of the protection for your kids, you set up rules for them, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So would you agree that if, as your kids got older, you said, hey, these are the guidelines in which you need to move to be approved in my house? And they said, and you also expressed to them, this is how you show you love me. These are the things that I'm expecting from you. They're like, nah, I ain't doing all that. I do love you though, but I ain't doing none of what you just said. How you gonna feel about that?
I mean, it's like a question.
Well, okay. So you gonna be like, yo, like, you don't respect me. You don't love me if you're gonna say that, right? And so we'll sit up here and say, I got a personal relationship with God. I love God, but you're doing nothing that God told you to do. You're lying to yourself, right? Now here's the crazier part. The Lord said, look, you got what's called blessings and you got what's called curses, right? You will be blessed if you just listen to all the things that I told you, which if anybody reads the Torah, anybody that sits there and says, oh, those laws are done away with, every single one of those laws will put us in what the world knows as a utopia. Don't steal, don't sleep with another man's wife, help the poor. These are the laws that we're talking about. Then you have what's called, we have American holidays, which have nothing to do with God, right? But the Bible has biblical holidays, which have everything to do with God. If we serve a living God, for everything that he does for us, don't you think that he would want some type of praise for it? The Bible tells you he wants some type of praise for it. The Bible tells you we should always sing the praises of God, to God. So why would we not keep those holidays, but we'd rather keep a Christmas or an Easter or St. Patrick's Day or Valentine's Day? God said, I got Passover for you. God said, I got Pentecost for you. God said, I got Purim for you. If you love me, keep those days and praise me. We said, nah, I like Christmas better because my granny was keeping that.
Yeah.
I like Thanksgiving better, even though it celebrates the destruction of my people, because granny was keeping that, Big Mama was keeping that. That's how we come
Do
together.
you think God is bigger than what He created?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's what I think. That's I just say that to say, like, because we can live inside of that, which is the truth,
Right.
And we can live outside of that, which is something else.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
That's just my thoughts on it. So, like, but I do want, God bless you, man. I'm gonna go and make some content.
Yeah, I'm already knowing.
Keep doing your thing.
Yes,
God
sir.
bless,
Have a
man.
good
I
one.
appreciate y'all.
But I'm gonna leave you with this last scripture, verse 15.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt now hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So that in tandem with the Deuteronomy 30 that we read earlier, the Lord told us to pick a side. We chose the wrong side, and that's why now, as we get Judith 5, and I know you're about to get ready to go, but that's why in the situation that we're in today, this is why our women can dress this way. This is why our marriages are out of order. This is why marriage isn't sacred anymore. This is why our kids are being neglected. This is why our kids have TikTok brains. All of these
TikTok
things.
brain is funny.
But you know exactly what I'm saying. It's a real thing, right? And the reason why this has transpired is because we've decided, yeah, God, I get what you're saying, but I want to do it this way. And to this day, that's why, like I said all the time, black entertainment television, first of all, that's not even run by a black person. This is run by an individual who wants to paint black people in a certain light. Right. That's why the stealing, the killing, the drug dealing, the drug using is so prominent in black culture or black entertainment, because that's what they want us to be. Because
but it is changing.
Lord's will, it continues to change and for the positive, right?
Yeah.
So, but this is the reason why, and this is what we come out here to do. Judith 5 and 17, read that.
And whilst they sinned not before their God, they prospered, because the God that hateth iniquity was with them.
So as you read through that story, it says, whenever we obeyed God, we were at the top. Whenever we disobeyed God, we were at the bottom, right? And so we talk about it all the time. Why is it that people look so badly on black and brown people? Why is it that people are always looking for a reason to shun black people? Why is it that we're always in a negative light, black and brown people? Well, the fact of the matter is, if I can continue to keep you in sin, then I can continue to keep you at the bottom. God said, the moment you decide to turn back to me, I got you. And then I'll put you back on top, which the individuals who are on top right now do not want to come down. That's a real thing. That's real life. So I wanted to leave you with that. Did brothers give you a literature to check out?
I don't need a literature. He got one? I got it.
Okay, you got one? Hey,
right.
check that out. We just here to teach our people to repent and teach them about their true history, brother.
Sure.
All right, y'all have a good one.